Alright guys, I just got home with the fish. Now we have to start acclimating him, and then you're gonna see what kind of discus I got, because you're not gonna believe it. I was stunned when I saw it too. Alright guys, I'm at the fish store. I did not expect to buy any fish, but I did, and I ended up with a really cool discus that I haven't seen in a long time, and normally they're super big and too expensive, but this time they were really small and perfect to add to the tank. I know I don't need more discus, I know my tank's stocked, but this guy is right here and I had to get him. I had credit to get him, so I barely paid anything for him from trading in all my other fish and selling them. Get back home and I'll show you guys this fish. I did not expect to get him. But first, I need to take a shower. I smell quite bad because I was at the gym. I'm gonna put the fish in the tank, take a shower, and I'll catch you in a second. Alright guys, I'm out of the shower, but in the meantime, while this fish is acclimating to its new tank, let's go ahead and feed the big display tank, because the new fish is going into the quarantine, so we can go ahead and feed these guys while we're waiting for that. Once the new guy gets out of quarantine, he'll be added to this tank with all the other discus all happy and ready. So let's go ahead and feed them. I got some Viber bites for these guys. We're just gonna sprinkle it up in this little hole right here. That's quite a bit of food, but my discus love to eat. There's also quite a few catfish in here, but look at them all go. My discus have gotten quite big, which is really, really nice. Especially this like blue guy. I think it's becoming like one of the dominant ones in the tank. He's really big. He's outgrowing this guy here that was the most dominant one for a while. But the reds are looking stunning. There's this guy down here that's just super red, and it's just looking amazing. I've always wondered if his pattern will extend to his body, or if they're gonna both be solid red. But all the discus are eating. They'll slowly pick at it as it falls. There's quite a few discus in here. The cardinal tetras are coming to eat as well. They tend to pick at the little bits that the discus break up for them. So once this discus is ready to get added to the quarantine tank, we're gonna add some meds just to make sure that there's no parasites or any other issues, because these quarantine tanks are still being treated with some other discus in there. So it should all work out fine as it's all being treated together, and the more discus together, hopefully it'll encourage each other to eat, because one of them have started eating. So this is the tank with the new discus, but I can also feed these guys until the other tank is ready. We're just gonna sprinkle some food in there. I need to get more. I need to refill this container. It's a little bit empty, but I'm gonna also grab the Viber bites from up here, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna feed them this. They don't seem to like these as much. They can still eat it, especially this guy, he'll eat anything. This one's still a little bit picky. These are the other discus that will be added to the big display tank once they're ready as well. And then once these guys in this tank are starting to get better, this is the other guy that is now eating, but he started eating, and then there's another yellow discus in there that always hides, is not eating. But once all these guys are out of quarantine and this new guy that you can't see yet, then these guys are all ready, then they'll all be added to the tank up here, and that will be the remainder of discus I add to this tank, because then it's starting to get quite packed with fish, and I still want to add tetras and things. Alright, it's time to finally add this new fish to the discus quarantine tank. Are you guys ready? Because I'm done eating, I'm done showering, and now it's time. In that time I was eating and whatnot, I was acclimating the new discus. Now take a look at him. Isn't he beautiful? It's a white, snow white discus, and he's really, really small. I've only ever seen them really big, and they're quite expensive, but I was able to get him with the credit and things that I've traded in with all my other fish. He's really, really cute, and his fins have like this blue shine to them, which I just love, because hopefully when he gets bigger, that will be like more prominent with this like beautiful white body, and then he'll just be shimmering in the tank. Now, he is now ready to be added to the tank, so let me grab a net. All right, got my net right here. I'm just gonna go in and scoop him out. Come on, Mr. Fishy. It's time to go into your tank.
Oh, it is hard to see him with the net.
There we go. All right, there he is. He looks funny in the net. And then we're gonna add him into the tank. There he goes. Oh, don't want to scare him too much. And then I'm gonna take the bag out so he can just swim around. Oh my, there's so much water in here. Look at him, guys. He's just stunning. He's actually really, really pretty. I always get worried about getting white discus because they'll, you know, look too stark, or they'll contrast too much against the other ones, but I have some discus with like whitish bodies, and red and yellow, so I think he'll fit in nicely once he grows up. And now we're gonna keep him in here to quarantine him. He's definitely a little stressed, but look at him. I think he's gonna do well. Really unique looking. I love how small he is. And there's another small discus in here, so they're all gonna quarantine together. And then once he's ready, we'll be adding him to the big tank. Look at all of them. They're all like wondering what I'm doing. They follow me around the tank because normally they're up there for food, but they're all down here. Oh, look, the other guy's coming out to check him out. So he's about the same size, so this is going to be good to grow them together. I'll try feeding him later to see if he takes any food. Probably not. Most discus are really shy in the first few days. Alright guys, it's been a few days since we've gotten the new discus, so let's go ahead and check him out. He's still not eating, which is normal for new discus, so we don't gotta worry about that. But let's go ahead and show you. He's adjusting pretty well. Already the top fish in the little tank for quarantine. Let's go ahead and feed the main tank and also try feeding the new guy and a couple of the quarantine discus. Alright, let's get some of these in here and feed the big tank. As you can see, they're all ready and hungry. And the clown loaches and other fish should all love this as well. I try to feed a variety of foods to the tank as much as possible. A lot of food in there, but they'll pick at it. I also don't think I fed them yesterday, so definitely want to make sure that they're going to eat okay. Don't want to overfeed as well. And then these guys down here, I'm going to take these panels off so we can go ahead and get food into these tanks. Let's get some over here. Get it right here. And then pour some food into these guys, and then this tank is where the new guy is. Let's see if he starts to come out. They're still really shy in this tank, so I don't expect them to come out. They normally come out when I'm away from the tank. Oh, this little new guy. Oh, they're both out. Let's see if he starts eating. I know in the fish store they were feeding him frozen food, so he's gonna take a bit to get to dry foods. I do have frozen food in case, but I really want to get him on dry foods as fast as possible because it would be much easier to feed. This guy's looking good, starting to put on weight. You can see how he's pushing him away. He doesn't want him anywhere near the food, but he's not eating it yet. Alright, little guy, come on, eat some new food. These guys, eating perfectly fine. One is still struggling to put on weight. I'm gonna keep trying to feed more and more, and hopefully that'll help. This guy specifically is the one not putting on weight. Alright, this little yellow guy is eating. The white one is still not eating. Normally takes a bit, especially if it's new food. Don't expect them to eat. I'm just gonna throw the rest in this tank because these discus are quite large, and as you can see, a lot of the food, they'll just keep picking at it and grazing and really fill up. And then the clown loaches are slowly making their way out to start eating. That guy's gotten quite big. And there's the clown loaches sneaking their way out. They're really shy. I've not had clown loaches this shy before. It might be a temperature thing or lighting, but for now, the discus are eating. These are really small little granules. All of them having fun. This little new guy doesn't seem to be eating yet. I'm really happy this guy's picking at the food because he was not eating for a while. Alright, I don't want to get too close to the tank because he's still new, but there he is on the left side. This is the yellow guy that has not been eating for a while, and I'm trying to quarantine him. And then you can now kind of see his color, like the blue fins on the top and bottom edge, and he's just really cool. I've never had like a white fish like this before. I have other white fish, but normally they're albino. He has like the black eyes. I think there's a different name for like fish like this where they're not albino, but their colors are still white and the pigmentation is different than an albino fish. So I thought this was really cool. I'm really excited for when he starts getting bigger. And what I might do with these two tanks is combine the quarantine fish so I don't have to treat or have all the tanks separated, the two groups of discus. That way when I add them, I can just add them all together. I'll just move the sponge filters to this tank or vice versa. Feed them all together, make sure they're all eating, because sometimes when you have discus in groups, it might promote the ones that aren't eating to eat. So instead of having like 3 and 2, I think it might help both tanks do better collectively because they do enjoy being in groups and school in the wild. He's really shy right now. He's never seen a camera, let alone he's been hiding a lot because he's new. And then there's the other little guy that he started eating, which I'm really happy about. And his like twin is up here doing really well. So hopefully they'll be able to move back together in the same tank. I'm really excited for the white fish because a lot of albino fish get pink as they get older, but he is a snow white discus, so he shouldn't get pink. He should stay this beautiful white color with like the blue edge fins, which should look amazing once he gets bigger. But look at him. He's really small, and small discus, definitely a little bit harder to care for, but I've had a couple small discus now, so once he starts eating, We'll get him in the tank, get him feeding, and then he should do really well. I'm excited. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also watch this video right here because I know you'll love it if you enjoyed this one. See you in the next one. Have a beautiful and awesome day. Watch this video now.